Trinity Sports Medicine, the Orthopedic Institute, and P3 Performance offers you the best fully integrated and patient-centered approach to health and wellness in the tri-state area. Our team will coordinate and customize your care using the latest accelerated recovery treatment options available, dedicated to help any athlete at any level to protect, progress, and perform. Unleash your potential at Trinity Sports Medicine and P3 Performance.
Four, three, two.
You missed him. How do you miss him?
I went pretty far, though. You're not going to find it.
So you're pretty good in
paper football?
Paper football?
Mm-hmm. Except for when you're actually good. I'm good at the field goals. But when you have to judge.
Right.
Like, I mean,
you stink at it?
Yeah, because it'll be like third down here, and you just got to go there. And I'm either too short or too long. I can never get it angling off perfectly.
So is that why you didn't play high school football?
Yeah, because I was bad at high school.
Direct correlation right there.
I could have been just a kicker for paper football. I could. They just call me. I'm warming up my fingers. I think I'm kicking to a net on the side of the cafeteria.
Oh, get a little goalpost like every 10 yards.
Yeah,
and see how you can.
Yeah. They could have recruited me for that.
That'd be awesome.
70 yards, paper football.
Bam.
There's a game on your phone that you can play with paper football.
Really?
You just fling it though. You have to adjust to the wind. They have wind blowing.
You have wind?
Yeah. You have to. It can be 70-mile-per-hour wind for paper football. Paper football podcast.
Just call you Josh Lambert?
Yeah. Except not against Texas. He missed 2 against Texas. Guess what's bound to happen?
Yeah.
Everything fell apart against Texas.
Quickly, too. Yeah, it was bad. All right, final podcast. Finale. Done. Finished. Finito. See ya.
Your name is?
Oh, hi. Mike Matheson, Matthew Peasley. Talking about paper football. Just kind of glad you can join us.
Shooting the breeze.
Ooh. Look, that's the name of the podcast, Shooting the Breeze. Yeah. I like that.
The paper football podcast, Shooting the Breeze.
He's going to go find something that's not good.
I think I'm giving him a headache now.
Sorry, Michael. All right. Week 10, 11, 12. Week 12, high school football. 1 team left in Ohio, 1 team left in West Virginia. We'll talk about Steubenville Big Red because they play Friday night, 7:30 at Meadowbrook. We're still trying to figure out how the fan situation will work at Meadowbrook.
Pack them in.
Well, that's like sardines, so to speak. And Steubenville Big Red finished 3rd in the region in Division 4, Region 13. They're taking on Columbus Marion-Franklin, who finished 2nd in the region after being dumped into the region during Week 4 because of that entire mess.
Right.
And, Steubenville Big Red did a nice job last week and take care of Johnstown Monroe. And now they have a team that is a little bit different in this. Marion-Franklin throws the ball a little bit more than Johnstown Monroe does, but not much. Marion-Franklin has thrown the ball 122 times in 11 games, which not a lot. 11 times a game, basically, and which is more than 3 that Johnstown Monroe was getting. Yeah. And they're very balanced in their running attack. They've run the ball 368 times for 2,064 yards, and their quarterback Tyler has gained 635 yards in 99 attempts. So a little bit different from what Johnstown Monroe did, where it was Cody Farley or Cody Workman or no one else.
Now, this Tyler kid seems to be their workhorse who's going to throw the ball in, take it himself, and run the ball. Probably a tough athlete to bring down. Just another tough test for the Big Red defense, who's really shown up when they've had to.
Well, they did a really good job last week after Johnstown Monroe scored early, and then Big Red made some nice adjustments. Then the Johnny scored right before half to make it 21-14, but Big Red took care of that with it early, and then just stuffed them for the rest of the game. Johnstown Monroe, Marion-Franklin, their leading receiver has 20 catches for 297, but 6 touchdowns. So I'm guessing the closer they get to the red zone, the closer they get to the goal line, the more they find him.
Yep.
So yeah.
Cover all corners of the end zone. Watch for the fades. It's
just going to be interesting just how much different they still like to primarily run the ball, obviously, Marion-Franklin, than the Johnnies, but it's just a different way they run it because they have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people with over 110 yards rushing. So
they can spread the ball out, spread it around, give
around, yeah. And it just makes Big Red's keys a little bit different last week. Last week it was either 1 or 2 kids, and this week it won't be the same thing. And the Big Red's defense played really well again last week.
So just a tougher task this week, I'm sure, because it's deeper into the playoffs, and just a bigger challenge for a diverse offense. It looks like Marion-Franklin has, and only 1 loss in the regular season to Bishop Hartley, who is one of the top teams in the state, only by 1 point. I saw that Marion-Franklin went to Independence, who played Harrison Central, and beat them pretty well. I mean, you can't really compare the same opponent like that to Big Red, but just someone familiar in the area.
Right.
They beat them pretty good, and then Independence comes here and takes care of Harrison Central. So Marion-Franklin had a tough schedule, just like Big Red did, and and just had 1 loss.
So it's going to be obviously just like any playoff game. Who commits the fewest turnovers? Who commits the fewest mistakes? Who commits the fewest penalties? You just can't make dumb. You just can't. You can't make dumb penalties. Big Red did a nice job last week. Dimitri Clark throwing the ball, Brandon Jones catching it. They think they recovered 2 fumbles, both by Brandon Jones. Johnny Blue ran the ball well.
Yeah,
Clark made, I think, 1 mistake passing the ball. They just did a nice job. They did a really nice job. The Red Riders. You know how far it is to Clear Fork?
I saw it's basically Virginia.
Basically Virginia.
Yeah.
Yes.
From the top of the state to the bottom of the state.
Basically, and I'm going. So,
Be careful.
Yep. How far is it? You can't get there from here, basically, is what it is. The Westside Renegades are 8-2. Or actually now they're 8-2. And they had a bye week 10, just like Weir High did. So they did not play. And they finished 6th in the state. Their 2 losses were to,
I think it's at Nicholas County.
Who finished 7th in the state.
And Mingo Central.
Who finished 4th in the state.
No slouches there.
So no slouches there. They got whipped both times on those 2 losses weren't close.
Right.
And according to, in Ralph's preview, he talked to the coach, and the coach basically says, so many words, Weir High speed scares them. Because he said they've played teams with as much speed as Weir, but not as many kids with as much speed as Weir.
Yeah, that's what we've known all year, is that they've developed their offense, and not only do you have to worry about Large, you have to worry about Cam Davis, you have to worry about JoJo Rice, even Matt Hartman when he gets his Zahir Hicks.
Yeah, and you got to find Cody Henrietta at tight end.
Yeah,
who's caught a few balls, done a nice job catching a few balls. Can Weir High's defense bottle up this? Okay, if you go into the game, you're going to hear this name a lot. Justin Koger. He is the quarterback for the Renegades. He has run the ball 100. He's throwing the ball. He's 106 for 197 for 1,600 yards.
Oh, wow.
14 touchdowns, 3 picks. So that's averaging 160 a game. He has run the ball 196 times for 1,604 yards. That would be 160 a game.
Wow.
So himself, he's averaging 320 a game. Hello.
That's who you're keying on.
He's number 1. Know where he is, and apparently he's about 6'4", 2.25.
They can't miss him either.
He's not the little shifty guy. He's 5'9", 110. That's not him.
Guessing he plays basketball too. Good athlete.
They're known for basketball school too.
Yeah.
But so obviously they need to know where number 1 is, and pretty much at all times. Because other than that, they have 2,400 yards rushing, and he has 16. He has 2/3 of it.
So just a big task for that Red Rider defense.
It's a huge task for that defense.
And them coming back to the playoffs for the first time in a while. This is
2008. It's the last
kind of their welcome back to the postseason with one of the best players in the state.
Yeah, and they last week got healthy. Westside got healthy. If there were any nicks, dings, whatever. And then their receivers for Westside. One guy has 32, 27, 23, 20. So 4 guys have 20 more catches. For 1,600, basically 1,600 yards. So
I'm sure Weir doesn't want to drive all that way to lose.
No. Saturday afternoon football. I love Saturday afternoon football. It's not supposed to rain.
Have fun.
I get to take pictures in the sun. And the dry stuff, not the liquid sunshine.
It's not what I got to do Friday for that Weir High soccer game.
No, you didn't.
It was a snow globe in Beckley.
Snow globe, and then you drive to Youngstown and get nice weather for the football game.
Yeah, that was fun. And fed very well, too.
Really?
Big shout out to Western Reserve High School. Yep,
wow.
They did us up really, really nice.
It's all about food, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. They had chili and cheese, hot sauce in crock pots. Made my own chili and cheese nachos, hot dogs, hamburgers. I've covered games there before and never had anything like that. So they've rolled out the red carpet.
Did they know you were coming? Or?
They must have. Yeah.
Man.
And that was a good game. That
was a good game. Look, congratulations to the Toronto Red Knights.
They gave Western Reserve, who's so much bigger. I mean, their offensive line, they look like 5 sumo wrestlers. They're huge. And Toronto stood,
and they have separate lines.
Yeah, all separate offense and defense.
Yeah, those kids aren't going both ways.
And it's depth, too. I mean, you look at both of the sidelines. Toronto has maybe 30 kids, maybe. Western Reserve has at least 70 on their roster. And they're real deep on the end zone. But everybody that played for Toronto gave it their all and made it a really game. I mean, they had an early lead. They had a lead at halftime. They had momentum. But, I mean, just Western Reserve was just too big.
Right.
And they had their energy saved up for that second half.
And I'm sure the coach is going at halftime going, what is this? Because didn't Toronto up 14-12 at half?
17-12, I think. Yeah, they were up by.
They're going, what is this?
Yeah. And Western Reserve's coach after the game was so complimentary of Toronto. He said they were scrappy, and Eric Meek said the same thing. And Eric Meek expects that for next year too. He says because they're not losing too much.
They're losing I think 6 seniors.
Yeah, they're gonna
5 or 6 seniors, something like that.
Yeah, they're gonna come back and expect to be in the playoffs again, and especially expect to build a program like Western Reserve has because they weren't so good. 5-10 years ago
in the area, so
but this could be. I'm excited to see what Toronto can do over the next couple of years.
I know. I talked to Coach Spink the other night about something else, and he said that they had a weightlifting session, and the kids came up to me and they go, "Coach, we want to go further in the playoffs next year." Nope. So the kids have already said we want to do more, which means harder work, more work. Just.
I'm sure the most important thing is that the kids buy into that. And it seems like they already are.
And it's proof. Look, you just went 8-2, and you made the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So if something's going right. And you want to make the playoffs again next year, so we need to work even harder. And they have, 13 to 14 seniors next year, obviously.
No, so that's the year to keep attacking.
Yeah, they're going to be fun to watch next year.
Mm-hmm. They were fun to watch this year.
Yeah, they were fun to watch. Yeah. Yes. All right. Hey, we're done. Last week of football. At least this podcast of football. Sorry, my bad.
We'll go 2-0 this week.
Yeah, 2-0. And then if the Red Riders win, they're going to... As long as the other team, the higher seed wins, they're going to Bluefield next week.
Even further south.
Further south. At least it's easier to get to.
Is it?
Yeah, from what I understand. I've never been to Bluefield. Further south I've been to cover anything was Beckley a couple years ago when, But
Bluefield, whatever county that is, there's the Bluefield Blue Jays minor league team.
Okay.
And there's also the Princeton Rays minor league team. And they're the only minor league baseball team across the country with 2 teams in the same county.
Really?
Yep. And they're Class A rookie league. So
are they affiliated with anybody?
Yeah, Blue Jays and Rays.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
gotcha.
First, only 2 in the same county.
Wow.
And it's in West Virginia. West Virginia's now going to have 4 minor league teams. You get those 2 guys, West Virginia Power in Charleston, and the team's coming to Morgantown.
Morgantown Black Bears.
Yep. 4 teams in the state of West Virginia.
He's full of knowledge
when it comes to meaningless baseball.
So you getting ready for Tony Sanchez as your catcher next year?
Yeah, probably.
You don't have a choice, do you?
Chris Stewart.
Who's it going to be?
Either one of them 2. Or just a cardboard cutout of Russell Martin.
Because it won't be Russell Martin.
He'll be in Chicago. Or Toronto.
Because they're going to offer him 5 years, and the Pirates can't. Shouldn't, won't, shouldn't, can't.
They can't.
They can't.
He's going to be 37 years old, still making a ton of money.
16 million a year.
And he's after 2 DL stints.
And he just this was the fewest amount of games he's played since 2009 this season.
Fewest amount of games
he's played since 2009 with this season. That's not counting the 2010 season when he missed the last 2.5 months because of the torn labrum, I think it was, or what he was out for the last 2.5 months. But it was I think fewest amount of games he's played. That tells you. I mean, that's just looking.
He's 30 years old.
He's 30
on the wrong side of 30.
The wrong side of 30.
Just like you guys.
Well, I know for me for sure. McElwain's a spring chicken.
We'll get a first baseman. That's what we need now. All I want for Christmas is a Pirates first baseman.
Alvarez.
Maybe. That one, maybe. So he's got to play every day. I don't want any more platooning. I want an everyday first baseman.
Pedro Alvarez.
Maybe. Just as long as he's not throwing.
Can't throw it away.
Yeah, can't throw it away there.
Okay. See ya. Bye.